what's up? How's everybody doing today? Let me just kind of get myself all nice and comfortable. Oh, how's it going, everybody? Let's see who's all in here, shall we? Oh, looks like I've just got my bro Wrath of Wood at the moment. Oh, looks like Shed just kind of walked in as well. Glad to have you guys in here. Hi. Yeah, so, first of all, happy Pie Day. Hope you guys have all gone out and, had pie today. I'm very full of pizza pie. I had some pizza pie earlier today because I was like, I don't really want a dessert pie. But I could go for a pizza pie. So I had my pizza pie today on Pie Day. So, yeah, and, oh, yeah, it's been a beautiful day out today. The sky just kind of got overcast a little bit, so it's not as beautiful as it was a couple of hours ago. But it's been nice out. I've had the windows open for most of the day. It's nice and bright in here. I do have my classic lamp on, but the windows are open and light is coming in, and it's been pretty nice today. So I hope you guys are having a nice day as well. So, yeah, as the title mentions, which I have kind of wanted to talk about a little bit. I mean, I've talked about it here and there, and it's pretty obvious at this point that, you know, I'm doing it a lot, is I've been really diving into video editing, guys. And, I mean, I have to, obviously. Like, I mean, I kept saying before that it was something that I needed to do, and eventually I was going to get to the point of where there was no way for me to get around it. And what was super cool is that I've been playing Honey Pop 2, and you know, the only way that I can share anything I'm doing on Honey Pop 2 with you guys is if I am very edit heavy. So that has been a very interesting experience, as you guys could probably tell from the videos that I've been releasing. And I've been surprised to find that I am very much enjoying the process of editing. Like, I'm actually having a good time, and it's weird because I don't, like, at the same time, like, I've kind of, like, had to tell myself, I'm like, okay, well, you're having a good time with editing because you're learning so many new things that you didn't know before, and I personally love learning things. So the process of learning something new that I didn't have very much experience with before has been a really exciting process for me. And so I'm learning new things. And then on top of that, I get really, like, I've been spending hours, like, almost every day so far since I started the Honey Pop series, just staring at, you know, my computer screen, going through all the footage and all the sound, and finding out where to cut pieces out and leave pieces in, and I've just been enjoying it. Like, I get really lost in it, and I'm enjoying the process, and I'm just worried that, you know, because I've had people kind of imply to me that, you know, oh, it gets old after a while, and, you know, I can definitely see that, but so far, I'm very much enjoying the process, and that's kind of like a big deal for me right now. Shed says it's 7 p.m. and the sun still has not set. It's good to get more sun these days. Here comes spring. I agree. I am very much looking forward to spring. I'm kind of trying to promise myself that I will get out more this year. Last spring and summer, I didn't get out as much as I probably should have. So I'm also trying to, you know, tell myself that I need to be out in public more. I'm kind of a homebody. I stay in a lot, and I kind of need to expand my social circle. So that's something that I'm going to try to be better about. I need to be... The thing is that I've kind of learned about myself these last few years is I'm very comfortable with being by myself for very long periods of time. And my brain can handle that very comfortably, which I would have never like, if you asked me if I could do that, say, maybe, like, you know, 5 or 10 years ago or so, I would have said, no, like, I have to be around people all the time. But now I found that I am very comfortable with being by myself for very long periods of time, very frequently. However, I'm also noticing that that might not necessarily be healthy to my overall social condition. I may be comfortable with it, but I think that I do need to go and be out among people, or otherwise, I'm worried that I might lose my ability to connect with people, in my daily life. And so I promised myself that this year, 2021, I would go and try to be out and about more often. And I mean, I guess that's kind of limited considering we're still going through the whole COVID mess, but I'm going to, the area that I live in is a very small town, and we don't have, a lot of restrictions or conditions about, being out around people and near businesses and things like that. So it's a lot more laid back where I'm living, and I feel like I need to go and take advantage of that and actually be out among people and, socialize. That's probably something important that I definitely need to do more this year. DLG says, my hero, save me from this exhausting day. Hi, DLG, glad to have you in here. No problem, buddy. Just come on in and hang out with me and the boys and girls, and we will chit-chat about all sorts of fun things like we always do. Wrathwood says, the voice acting and characters are surprisingly good in this game. Oh, in Honey Pop 2? Yeah, it's very, very, there's a lot of things that are very different about this game than the first game, that is for sure. And I think it's just because the game company that makes the Honey Pop series has very much grown massive. It's had since the first game came out, it has had tons of publicity, tons of support. I'm sure they've made an insane amount of money. So, and they're good. Here's the thing that I feel like needs to be said about the company that makes the Honey Pop games. They make fun games. They're fun. You can have your games with, nudity and pornography in them and whatever, and sure, people will buy them up. But it's a whole nother situation when, you can have nudity and porn in your game, but the game itself, the gameplay, the dialogue, the characters, they're all fun and interesting. And I think that's really what's making the company that makes the Honey Pop games, so good. They're very much, it's very obvious that they're not, wasting any time. They legitimately want to produce a game that's fun and interesting and silly and, and that's really cool. I really enjoy that. I think that, definitely they deserve the money and exposure that they're getting, that is for sure. Oh, hi, Sue. Glad to have you and your girlfriend. Thanks for joining us. But yeah, I do actually need to do, because I've been so focused on editing the videos that I haven't been doing enough gameplay. So today has been a pretty packed day for me. Obviously I uploaded the new Honey Pop video today, episode 2. Go out and watch it if you haven't seen it already. But I also need to, I'm currently working on the 3rd video in the sense of it's already recorded, but I'm in the process of editing it right now. I got a bunch of editing done yesterday, mostly cutting, but then I have to do the proper arrangement of the footage and add in other things. And yeah, but I do need to actually record more footage because I'm falling behind on the footage recording. So I was planning, today was supposed to be, or is supposed to be, not was, because it's not over yet. Today's supposed to be a pretty busy day for me. I have to, I promised myself I was going to, first of all, release the video, which I did already. Then I was going to, I did plan on doing this stream. This stream is not a last minute thing that I pulled out of my ass all of a sudden. I did intend to do this stream today. I wanted to kind of stream, but because of adding the stream in, I'm packing my schedule like crazy. So release the video, do the stream, then afterwards record more footage, and then after I record more footage, I'm going to go back into editing to try and get episode 3 finished tonight. and then maybe I'll release it on Patreon either tonight or tomorrow, and then release like the official video on YouTube maybe the day after or something like that. So it's a pretty tight schedule today, but I'm also trying to take advantage of this time because it's very possible that I might be starting my new job next week. So knowing that I may be starting my brand new job next week, and not 100% sure what the schedule is going to look like, I basically decided that I wanted to pack as much as I could into content creation today in particular. So it's been pretty crazy, but I'm having a good time. I really like being busy and doing all this stuff. I don't know. It's, well, like I said before, I think I told you guys about this, but I've slowly kind of like learned that I really do enjoy content creation. And originally I was thinking that, you know, I only really enjoyed streaming. But as I decided to force myself to do actual video creation and learn editing and stuff like that, I'm kind of realizing that, you know, all the avenues of, you know, content creation on YouTube are very fulfilling to me. I really enjoy it. And I'm having a good time. I feel productive, and I feel like that I'm genuinely doing what I really want to do in my life, you know? So, yes, I have to go and you know, take on this other job just to make sure I pay my bills, but that's okay, you know? Like, that's okay, because I'm still using my free time to be able to do what I'm genuinely passionate about, and I really... I don't know, it feels really fulfilling. I feel like I'm doing, like... There was a long period of time in my life where I had no idea what I wanted to do at all. I was just like wasting time all the time. Like I was working like different kinds of jobs, you know, all sorts of different kinds of jobs, working medical jobs, working cooking jobs, you know, doing manufacturing jobs. And, you know, I was just kind of like floating around from job to job and not really knowing what I wanted to do in my life, you know? And like nothing felt right to me. Like I tried all sorts of things. Like I tried, you know, I kept filling my life and free time with all sorts of different hobbies, like lots and lots of different kinds of hobbies. And no matter what I did, nothing ever really felt quite like, you know, like I never had that moment where I was like, this is 100% what I want to do with my life. Like, this is like the dream that I want to follow. This is like who I want to be for the rest of my life. And I never really felt that way about anything. And it was kind of like scary, you know, like not really, I don't know. 'Cause I felt like that for a long time in my life where, you know, I was just kind of doing random things and there was never really anything that I was... I mean, I did always say to myself for a long period of time that I really wanted to become, like, a writer. And I still really enjoy writing, but I never truly saw that as something that I wanted to be doing for the rest of my life, you know? And I never... The overall point is that there wasn't anything at any particular time that I felt really passionate about, where I was like, you know, where I could literally wake up in the morning and be like, okay, I'm going to be doing this and doing this, not because it's paying me to do it, but because this is genuinely what I do, and this is like what I want to do, and this is what I'm genuinely passionate about, and I'm driven to do this. Like, I'd never really had something like that in my life for a pretty long period of time. And ever since I started, you know, doing streams and content on YouTube, like, I feel like that has been officially awakened in me, you know, like that passion and drive where I can wake up in the morning and I'm going to be like, okay, like, I'm going to release a video today. Then after I release my video today, I'm going to do a stream. Then after I do my stream, I'm going to work on video footage recording. And then after video recording footage, like, I'm going to do editing. And it's like, am I being paid to do... Well, I mean, I guess in a very technical sense, I guess I am being paid to do that at this point. Like, I mean, I do have my wonderful Patreon members who I greatly adore and love, who support me for the video content I'm making. And I'm very appreciative of that. But even outside of that, it's like... You know, like, yes, technically I am making money, you know, even though it's not the largest amount of money of all time, I am making money on doing that, which is very cool. And it does, in fact, encourage me to keep doing it. But on top of that, like, I could still keep doing this, knowing that there wasn't exactly the largest form of compensation, you know? Like, because I feel like, I really do feel like that if I didn't genuinely enjoy what I'm doing and I was just kind of like trying to seek publicity or just grab cash quickly, I feel like I would have given up on it by now. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that I genuinely feel the drive to be here doing this, you know, with you guys and all that. And, you know, it's, and I feel like also on top of that, like, if anything else, it also speaks for itself that I don't even have the largest audience of all time, but that doesn't stop me from, like, doing it. Like, you know, the videos that I'm making get, you know, like, 20 or so views, you know? And it's like, but I still want to do them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if that doesn't speak for itself, I don't know what possibly could. But yeah, I feel really passionate about this, and I feel okay with where I'm at, and it gives me that warm, fuzzy feeling where, you know, like how sometimes you feel like that you can have that feeling where you feel like you have an empty space and you want to, like, feel fulfilled, like you want that empty space to feel fulfilled, but you can't quite grasp it or you can't quite feel it. And, you know, and you're just waiting, and it's not like it's the classic saying of, like, oh, like, you can't fill that space with, like, you know, buying things or you know, necessarily having, like, you know, a partner in life or something like that. But, like, this is, like, the first time where I feel like that I feel fulfilled doing something that I have complete control over on my own. And I genuinely enjoy what I do, and I'm not planning on stopping anytime soon. You know what I mean? So, it's a great feeling. Like, being able to do what I'm doing and knowing that, like, I can wake up each day and immediately plan out, you know, what I'm going to be doing with my content for the day, and then feel like I worked hard and I got something done. And it, you know, fills me up with comfort and happiness, you know? So, let me catch up a little bit. I'm sorry, guys. DLG says, filling the void with things that had about as much meaning as what you were trying to fill in. I can relate and understand that feeling. Yeah! Like, where, you know, it's just like I said, like, I went through a long period of my life where I didn't know what I was trying to do. And I legitimately, like, I was scared for a period of time because I felt like that I was going to walk my whole life, like, live my whole life, not feeling genuinely passionate about doing anything in life, you know? And that was really scary, but that's why I feel so great that I've gotten into content creation, because I feel like, you know, I've learned about myself what I can do to feel that void be filled up, you know, and it's something that's completely under my control, and I feel like the only person that can fulfill that empty space by doing what I'm passionate about is myself, you know, and that's a wonderful feeling. What's up, Anto man? What you doing? Looks like we've also got Cindy in the house. Anto and Cindy. What's up, my boys? Mwah, how you doing? Glad to have you in here. Anto says, oh shit, the legend has returned! Legend of the Spicy Man! Thanks for being here, guys, Anto and Cindy. Who is this handsome boy? Says Anto. Aw, Anto. Anto, you're so sweet. DLG saying hi to all the new peeps, Mr. Cindy and Mr. Anto. Glad to have you guys in here. Anto says, oh, you know I'm enjoying my job. Finally make a living wage, yo. Nice, man. That's good. Yeah, like I said, I probably will have, I mean, unless it doesn't go exactly as planned. I'm still waiting for some approval on some documents that have to be passed before they can let me in. So it's possible that I might not start next week, but it sounds like I'll probably be starting my new job next week, which will be good, because I genuinely need, you know, that new job. So yeah, very much. But yeah, that's why I'm kind of trying to pack more content and get more things done while I can, while I still have the free time available to me. Hey, what's up, G? How you doing, Home Slice? Glad to have you in here. Anto says, let's like the stream to get this man out to the people. There you go! Like the stream! Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. It's very helpful. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, I've just been having such a fun time editing, and the coolest thing is I've been, like, doing things to challenge myself. So, like, I don't know if you guys have heard about the stuff I was doing with Cindy, who's in the chat. Basically yesterday, Cindy was having an issue with a video that was giving him a lot of trouble. He couldn't get it into the right format that he needed. And so I told him, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm learning a lot of stuff, and I feel pretty comfortable with what I've learned. Like, why don't you go ahead and send me that video? And I'll just go ahead and try my best to fix it up in the way that you want. And like, it's fine. Like, I wasn't looking for any kind of compensation or special credit. I mean, it is me who's doing it, and I'm totally amazing. But I'm not looking for compensation or special credit. Legitimately, the only reason why I wanted Cindy to send me that so that I could mess around with it is because it looked like a challenge, and I wanted to take it on with the knowledge that I have from all the stuff that I've learned from video editing. And I believe, unless Cindy tells me differently, I believe that I got that video fixed up in the way that he needed it to be. And I feel very cool for doing that, because he made it, I'll admit, when me and Cindy were talking about the video through Discord, he sounded like he was having a really rough go at it, and it sounded like also that he sent it to a couple of other people to kind of look at it for him as well, and they were kind of having a rough go at it. So it was a major ego booster to, go about that challenge, and from what I believe that I've done, I think I managed to actually fix it up and get it really nice so that he can upload it for his channel. And like I said, I just wanted the challenge. That's all it was. Like, I don't need anything from Cindy on that. I legitimately was just interested in the challenge, and I was like, I think that I have learned enough information about, I can still learn more. I am absolutely craving to learn more knowledge about learning how to use my editing software, and also getting into even more complicated editing software as well in the future. But I'm just, like, thirsty for editing knowledge. And, with the things that I've learned, I thought it would be really fun to kind of take the video that he had trouble with and take it on as a special little challenge to see if I really knew what the hell I was doing. And at the moment, I'm feeling pretty darn good about myself. I feel like I got some pretty good work done, and I think I did a good job. And it's okay, Cindy. You don't have to, take your time with it. I know that you have, your whole schedule. You'll get it uploaded when it's comfortable for you. I legitimately hope that it works out for you, and I hope it really does a good job on your channel. So I'm excited for you, buddy. I'm excited if you end up using it in that way. So yeah, man. I will admit, so the video is a short. It's a YouTube short, and Cindy's trying to, utilize, wink, wink. He's trying to utilize the short algorithm so that he can get a popular video going on. And I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of YouTube Shorts, especially with all the exploitation going on with YouTube Shorts. But I will also admit that I have been really salty about that kind of stuff, and I'm trying really hard not to be salty about that kind of stuff. So that's why I wanted to, like, that's another reason why I wanted to take it, make it work for Cindy, give it back to him, let him use it how he wants, and I legitimately hope that it succeeds for him, because I need to not be salty about the exploitation of YouTube Shorts. So I do legitimately hope that that'll be successful for you, homie. Let me catch up just a little bit more. Yeah, Cindy says he wants to kind of upload it. It's all good, bro. I know you'll get to it when you're comfortable, when it works out. Don't worry about it. And if you end up not using it for whatever reason, don't worry about it. You're not going to hurt my feelings. It's totally okay. G says, nice, get that EXP. Hell yeah, man. Like, I didn't think that I would take to it as well as I have been. Like, I was actually really worried that it was going to be like this crazy, nonsensical, like, thing that I would never be able to understand, and I thought I wasn't good enough to get it. But, like, once I started, you know, really applying my brain to it and, like, looking up the information that I needed to know, reviewing it, practicing it, you know, like I said, taking on that random challenge of a video just to see if I could do it, just to exercise that knowledge, like, once I started applying myself to it, it made me realize I can do it. Like, I can learn from this, and I can do it, and I can utilize it to make things on my channel better. And, I mean, you know, like I said, there's still a lot of things that I really need to learn, but I feel pretty darn good. I feel like I'm getting a lot of, you know, knowledge on my belt and utilizing what I've learned pretty well. I'm gonna have some water real quick. My mouth is just a little bit dry. Ice cold water. It's very good. I drink so much water. I pretty much only drink water. Sometimes I think that it's more of a testament to my laziness rather than healthiness. Because it's like, nah, I don't want to buy sodas. They're too expensive. I don't want to buy juice. It's too expensive. Like, I'll just have water. I have a water filtration system. I could just take it right out of the tap, run it through the filter, have fresh cold water whenever I feel like, and I don't have to spend any money on it. So, I mean, yes, I can always say, ooh, I'm a healthy boy. I only drink water. And it's like, nah, I'm just poor. I just don't want to spend money on sodas and other stupid drinks. I'll just drink water. Thank you very much. Hey, Cobalt! Thanks for being here, homie. Glad to see you in here, bro. Cindy says, it looks correct, but we'll see how YouTube takes it. Yeah, I had to actually, like, check the data to make sure that it was, the right ratio, which I believe was 9:16 versus 16:9, right? So, and I made sure to, like, because there is actually, like, an area where you can check the ratio for that. And I made sure to double check it, and it even has that kind of, like, awkward squishy look, but also considering all the graphics you put in, it helps make it not look weird due to squishiness, you know what I mean? So, I think it'll work fine, and it should have the correct ratio you're looking for. It really should. So, I really hope that's going to work out for you, buddy. Cindy says, it seems I have some new restrictions. Check on my channel. I don't know what it is about, but now it is making videos take longer to upload to. Yeah, so today when I uploaded the Honey Pop video, it had a really long processing rate, which was unusual. Usually, I feel like I did notice that, Cindy. Because, like, the uploading time was normal. So, like, it took like, I don't know, like 15, maybe 20 minutes to upload the video, but then it took, like, normally it takes, like, 3 or 4 minutes to, like, process the video. But today when I uploaded the video, it took, like, almost as long as it took to upload it, to process it, which I thought was a little unusual. I don't know if that's, like, what you're experiencing, But I thought that was a little weird. I don't know if it's just YouTube being weird today specifically, but it did feel like the processing part of the video took quite a bit of time, which I thought was kind of strange. G says, that's how it goes. Get it, boy, get it. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, I do actually, because I do plan to, after I get things settled with my job a little bit better, and I can kind of build up some cash again, get a little more comfortable, I'm planning to look into Adobe, which I've now had multiple people recommend to me. So I am probably going to look into the Adobe video editing software, because, but I gotta admit, I'm getting super comfy with Shotcut right now. I've learned so much about Shotcut, and I am really getting into that totally comfortable state where I don't feel like anything is really alien to me inside a Shotcut anymore. So I'm just nervous that if I do get into Adobe, I'm going to have to go through that again, where it's going to be a little uncomfortable and I'm going to have to learn a whole bunch of new things, and, you know, it's going to have to get comfy for me. But I'm also aware that in order for me to get that way with Shotcut in the first place, where I got comfortable, I just read information and practiced things and looked up tutorials, and then after doing that enough times, like, Shotcut was just fine and comfortable. So I assume it'll be the same for Adobe. Like, you know, it'll probably start out as feeling uncomfortable, but I'm sure there's more than enough information out there for me to, like, know what I want to do and how to get comfortable with the software. So I'm not super worried about it. You drink coffee? Coffee's not a vice, DLG. Yeah, I do drink a lot of coffee. I'm a coffee addict. I always say, so my three favorite drinks are coffee, water, and milk. I drink a lot of coffee, I drink a lot of water, and I drink some milk. I don't drink it as much as I used to. There was a period of time where I was drinking like a pint of milk every single day, like at least 1 or 2 pints of milk every single day. But that was because of a job that I worked. I worked at a job where they had like pints of milk that you could just take for free whenever you wanted, and they didn't care. So like with every break I would have like a pint of milk just because I had free access to it. So, but ever since I left that job, that was like years ago, I haven't been drinking as much milk, but I still love milk. I really do. I still consider it as like number 3 on my top 3 favorite drinks, but number 1 would be coffee. I will admit I drink tons and tons of coffee, and I do spend probably, you know what, you're right. I guess I can't say that I don't spend money on drinks, because I spend money on coffee, and coffee is very expensive to buy. There's no getting around that. I mean, I buy it pretty cheaply in bulk, but it's still expensive. But I don't consider it a vice. No, and the thing is, I would consider it a vice if, like, I was drinking it just to have caffeine. You know, like, if I was a caffeine addict, then, yeah, I guess that coffee would kind of be more vice-like, you know? But I drink coffee because I enjoy it. I don't drink it because I need energy. I have a lot of energy. I don't really need coffee to give me that energy. You know what I mean? So coffee's not really an energy drink. I could drink it black. I mean, I like to have it with milk and chocolate sometimes. And usually my most common way to drink coffee is just a little splash of milk for color. But I also drink it black because I just enjoy coffee. I just do. I just enjoy coffee. So I enjoy the taste of it. I enjoy the smell of it. I enjoy, you know, the temperature of it while I drink it. Like, you know? So I just like coffee. You know, you can't hate on me for that. I love coffee. G says, I'm drinking a huge thermos full of coffee because I don't want to go buy or remake coffee all day. Yeah, man. Like, I drink, it's, like, I actually drink, let's see, about 4 cups of coffee every day. Meaning, like, 4 cups in measurement. So I drink 2 mugs with 1 mug holding 2 cups of coffee in it. So I drink a total of about 4 cups of coffee every day in the morning. And then, Sometimes, more often than not, I drink another 4 cups of coffee. So I drink about 8 cups of coffee every single day, more or less, depending on, like, it depends. So, like, here's the thing. If, like, this is kind of how I would look at it. If I'm working, I drink 4 cups of coffee a day. If I'm not working, I drink 8 cups of coffee a day. So I drink a lot of coffee. It's because I like it. I love it. I love bitter things, you guys. I love the taste of bitter things. Like, for example, I'll eat a 97 cacao percentage Ghirardelli bar. Like, I've done that. Like, you know, I'll even go, like, the weirdest part. There was a while ago, I got I was given a 3/4 bar of Baker chocolate, like baking chocolate. And I was like, it just sat in my fridge for a really long time. And then I kind of got to this moment where I was like, I'm not gonna bake with this. It's just gonna sit here and, like, not be used for baking. I'm gonna eat this Baker's chocolate bar. And I did. I ate a Baker's 100% cacao baking chocolate bar. And I loved it. I loved it. Now, I didn't shove the whole bar in my face. Like, what I was doing was I broke off small pieces of it, and I would eat it with my coffee. I'm serious. I would take a few small pieces of the Baker's baking chocolate, and I would just nibble on it while drinking black coffee. Like, I love bitter things, you guys. I love bitter things. It's so delicious. I'm weird like that. I don't know why. I love bitter food. It's delicious. I think it's also one of the reasons why I love drinking beer as well, rather than other kinds of alcohol. I love, like IPAs, Indian Pale Ales, are usually my favorites because they're the most bitter. Like, IPAs are my favorite because they're the most bitter beers. Like, I love them. Let's see, Cobalt says, Farming Simulator, that would be a nice chill stream, no hassle or stress-inducing moments. Maybe. I have seen people play that game a couple times. Let's see what else. I've fallen behind, I'm sorry. Cindy says the video looks correct, but we'll see how YouTube takes it. It seems I have some new restrictions. Check on my channel. I don't know what it is about. But now it's making videos take longer to upload too. That's really weird. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, is it something that's literally on your channel, like a label on your channel? Or, like, did YouTube, like, notify you that that's something that's happening now? Like, that's really weird. Oh, wait, I fell behind. I'm sorry, guys. I reread some comments there. I'm sorry. This is called Checks. Zoo went to go get some pizza on Pi Day. Very nice. Processing sometimes takes a while. I've had to delete and re-upload in the past, like it gets stuck. Yeah, I started using BitChute, just to kind of, like, upload some restricted videos. And they have really weird problems with their processing speeds. And sometimes you have to, like, delete videos that are processing just so you can re-upload them so that they process correctly. It's very weird. Cindy says Shotcut is nice. It is! I've been really enjoying Shotcut. I've been getting very, very into it. G says, I feel it. You'll be super uncomfy at first when you switch the programs, but the principles are the same. Okay. I mean, it's just like having the knowledge that I can just find everything I need by looking it up online is what really helps me cope with working with programs I'm not used to working with. Coffee has water and milk. Yes, it does. Which is two of my favorite things. Like, coffee is everything that like all of my favorite drinks combined into one thing. Coffee beans, water, and milk. It's everything I could possibly want. It's genius. It's genius. Welcome back, Zoo. Hope you got your pizza pie. G says, I do the same tutorials and YouTube. Right now I'm studying Steffi Lamau. Steffi Lamau, because he just got hired onto the editing team I freelance for. Oh, okay, cool. Interesting. Never heard of him. Cobalt doesn't like black coffee. I love black coffee. And my thing is like I love black coffee because so like I let my coffee sit and get cold. Black coffee for some reason usually tastes like I love black coffee when it's hot. And then I love black coffee when it's room temperature. And then I love black coffee when it's cold. So like whereas like if I have like coffee with milk or chocolate in it, I feel like I enjoy it less as it changes in temperature. Maybe not. I don't know. I just like coffee, okay? I just like coffee. Um Let's see. G says my boss wants us to learn more of his style, so YouTube studying here I come. Okay, man. I hope it works out for you, bro. Yeah, I study other channels. I study large channels, I study mid-range channels, and I also study channels that are smaller than mine. So like and Cindy knows about this because sometimes I actually contact him and like, hey, like Cindy, check out this weird channel that's either your size or my size, and it's really successful because of so and so reasons. Like, tell me what you think. So like I do that a lot. Like I'll just go surfing around on YouTube every once in a while, and I'll find interesting channels that do weird things that are weirdly very successful, and then I'll kind of like look at everything they're doing and then kind of like try to understand like the process they're going through that makes them successful in the way that they are. It's a really overall pretty interesting process. Like it genuinely is, and I like studying that stuff because it's going to help me grow and learn new things to make my channel better as well. Let's see here. DLG says, you drink 2 mugs of coffee at the same time. No. I drink one, and then I finish it, and then I drink the second one. And usually they're both hot by the time I get through the first mug, the second mug is still hot. So, because I drink it pretty quickly. Hey, Mess! What's up, girlfriend? Glad to have you in here. Thanks for joining us. Ratherwood says, oh no, Baker's chocolate. Yeah, I will nibble on a Baker's chocolate bar. I don't even care, man. I don't even care. I don't. I really don't. I can munch on a Baker's chocolate bar while drinking black coffee with nothing in it. I'm a crazy person like that. Matt says I don't drink beer. Much love the fruity drinks more. Okay. I mean, like you're more of like a cocktail kind of girl. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I love beer. I love really bitter beers. Let's see. Oh, hey, Fajouk. I didn't know you were in here, but glad to see you. Understand if you're going to leave to go take a nap. No worries. You do what you got to do, homie. This music is a little intense. I had to turn it down on my side. It was... Okay. Let's see here. Maz says, I'm feeling better. Had the injection yesterday, and the fever is gone. That's good. Glad you got your injection, and you're good to go. Let's see here. Coffee, what do you put in it, or are you straight up? I'm a mix, Cindy. I usually... So, this is usually the process that I go. So, I usually will have my first mug of coffee, and I'll usually put just a tiny amount of chocolate in it, like chocolate syrup. And I use chocolate syrup that has no sugar in it. I actually buy a really good chocolate syrup that is... For some reason, I can only find it at Walmart. I can't find it anywhere else. But it's like this special purified, like Hershey's chocolate syrup, where they use all natural ingredients, no preservatives, and also there's no sugar in it. And it's really good. It's like it's basically the best chocolate syrup I've ever had in my entire life. And it tastes like real chocolate. It doesn't taste like fake sugary syrup. So I usually like it's 100% like natural ingredients and no preservatives and no sugar. And I put that in my mug, and then I pour my coffee over the top, and then I put like a little splash of milk in it for color. And that's usually the first mug of coffee I have in the morning. That's about 2 cups of coffee that fit in my mug. And then what usually happens is after I finish that, once I've had that chocolate intake, I usually don't want to have that chocolate intake again. So then my second mug of coffee is just black coffee and then milk for color. Or sometimes I'll go as far as saying, I don't even want the milk. I'll just take my second coffee black. So that's kind of like how I drink my coffee. The first one always has milk and chocolate in it. And then the second one either usually only has milk in it or I just take it black. And that's to kind of like balance out the sweetness that I just had with my previous mug of coffee. So it just depends on like what kind of mood I'm in. It also depends on like if I've had like something to eat or not. So like, you know, sometimes if I've had something to eat that's like really sweet or something like that in the morning, then usually I will drink my coffee black to balance out the sweetness of whatever I ate just before. Zeus says, hell yeah, I got my pizza pie. Well, it's on its way. Very nice. Where'd you order from? Did you get like Domino's or Pizza Hut? I hate Pizza Hut, but it's only because I hate the Pizza Hut near me. The Pizza Hut near me is evil. Like, not saying all Pizza Huts are terrible, just the one that like is in my town. They ruined my birthday one time. Like, I was really mad. I was having a birthday, guys, where I was like really depressed and like I was like in a bad mood. And I was like, I'm gonna celebrate my birthday by myself and I'm gonna order a pizza from Pizza Hut. And I was like in a really shitty mood. And so I ordered a pizza from Pizza Hut and they sent me the shittiest pizza I have ever had. It was cold when I got it. So like it was cold, it was covered in grease. It wasn't even the pizza that I ordered. Like, I even spent extra money on a special pizza, and they didn't even send me the special pizza that I ordered. So, like, and they got all the toppings wrong, too. I got a refund. I was really pissed, and I was like, I'm never buying from you guys ever again. Like, you ruined my birthday. Like, I was having a bad birthday, and then you ruined it with your shitty, cold, greasy pizza. I'm never buying from you guys again. Like I said, that doesn't mean every Pizza Hut is terrible. Just the one where I live is the worst. I hate it. DLG says, I never got into drinking coffee. Something about the taste threw me off. Well, I mean, like, a lot of people don't like it because it's bitter. You know? But, like, that's what's my weird thing. I like it because it's bitter. Like, I like bitter things. I do. Zeus says iced coffee all the way, even in a blizzard. Okay. I do like iced coffee as well, but I like hot coffee. Like, I just like coffee. I'm just a coffee guy. I just like coffee. That's all I like. Give me the coffee. I just want the coffee. Put the beans in my body. Put the beans in my body. Let's see. Cindy makes espresso a lot. I wish I had an espresso machine. That would be so good. Someday I will get a really nice high quality espresso machine and then I'll start making like really fancy espresso and stuff like that. Like, have you guys ever had a what do they call it, have you guys ever had an affogato before? Oh my god. Okay, so there's like this really fancy ice cream shop in town where I live, and they make affogatos. So if you guys don't know what an affogato is what they do is they take a scoop of ice cream and put it in a bowl, and then they take a shot of, like, espresso and just pour the espresso over the ice cream. Oh my god, it is so good. It is so good, you guys. Oh my freaking god. And, like, the thing is it's so good is because, like, you have the espresso melt the ice cream, and, like, so... Like, you know, like, when you would be a little kid, and, like, you'd be like, yay, I get to eat my ice cream, and it's, like, a hot day, and then you're, like, really sad because, like, all of your ice cream melts, and then you have, like, sad ice cream soup? So, like, the genius of, like, an affogato is, like, you pour the espresso over the ice cream, and then you eat as much of the ice cream as you can, but, like, when the ice cream melts, you're not sad about it because now... you have a fancy coffee drink. It's the best. It's so good. Like, it's like, oh, I'm going to enjoy my delicious ice cream with a little bit of coffee flavoring on the top. Oh, the rest of my ice cream is melted. Well, now I get to enjoy an ice-cold espresso ice cream drink. It's amazing. It's so amazing. You guys ever want? If you guys have never tried an affogato before, go out and like find like go and like find a way to get yourself some espresso, like a shot of espresso, and then go take a scoop of like your favorite like creamy kind of ice cream, like, you know, vanilla or chocolate or whatever kind of fancy creamy ice cream you got, and then just pour a shot of espresso over it. Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. Oh man. Alright, I gotta catch up again. Maz loves iced mochas. Iced mochas are good. I have not had like a legit iced mocha in quite some time. It's kind of because I make my own mochas a lot. Like I said, like I just pour a little bit of chocolate in it with no sugar and no preservatives and all that, and then pour milk on it. That's basically a mocha, so, you know. It just has like... It's not like a mocha that's totally weighed down with chocolate. Like, in my opinion, if I go and order a mocha and it doesn't taste like coffee to me, like, I like the hint and flavor of chocolate, but if I can't taste the coffee in a mocha, it's not a very good mocha to me. I like to taste the coffee. Like, I legitimately enjoy the flavor of coffee, so tasting the coffee in my mocha is a big deal for me. Shed says, I feel the same way about coffee, but my love has crossed the line to full-blown addiction. I get that. Like, I know what you mean. Because, I mean, I guess, like I said, I drink 8 cups of coffee on my days off and 4 cups every day. So, you know, I mean, there's not really a day that I go without drinking coffee. That's a very rare thing that happens. Like, once in a blue moon, like, I'll have a day where I don't have coffee. Like, once in a blue moon. So, you know, I guess you could probably say it is an addiction for me as well. Cindy says, tip for iced coffee, if you have a Keurig, you can brew it over ice and make a nice iced coffee. Just add creamer over the ice, and it's perfect. My parents have a Keurig, but I don't. And my sister has a Keurig as well, but I don't. Maybe someday. I kind of like... So, I French press my coffee. And I really like the whole process of, like, French pressing... Like, the freshness of it. Like, I do the whole... I have a ritual, you guys. Like, and if I don't follow my coffee ritual, I'm, like, not gonna enjoy my coffee. So, my coffee ritual is, first, I always buy whole beans. I never buy pre-ground coffee, ever. Never, ever, ever. Because, in my opinion, pre-ground coffee is, like, stale and gets old quick and, like, it's nasty. So, like... I always buy my beans whole, and then I do, like, my whole ritual is I pull out my jar of beans, and I do a double scoop into the grinder, I grind my beans down, and then I pour them into my French press, and then I boil my water, which is about 3 3/4 cups. It's never exactly 4 cups, I know I say 4 cups, but if I do exactly 4 cups, my mug will be overflowing. So I do about like 3 3/4 of water. And then when that's done boiling, I pour it over my freshly ground coffee beans. And then, this is important, and anybody who wants to fight me on it, screw off, because this is how I do it. And if I don't do it the exact way that I want to do it, then I'm not going to be happy. After I pour the water over the freshly ground coffee beans, I then take a chopstick and I stir it up really, really well until it's all foamy on the top. It has to be foamy. You have to make sure that you can't see any of the grounds on the top of the water, and you have to make sure that it's all foamy on the top. Then when it's all foamy on the top, you have to then cover it with a flat surface, and then you wait 10 minutes. I steep my coffee for 10 minutes. If I don't steep my coffee for 10 minutes, it's not going to be as strong as I like it. I always steep for 10 minutes. If it doesn't get steeped for 10 minutes, it's too weak, and I'm not going to enjoy it, and it's just going to taste like water to me. So I have to steep my coffee for 10 minutes. Then after 10 minutes, I'll put the cover on, and then I will very slowly, like it almost takes me like a full minute to like fully push the plunger all the way down. And then once the plunger is all the way down, I then do my whole setup with the chocolate in the bottom of the mug, and then I pour my coffee in a swirling fashion so that it stirs up the chocolate in my coffee so that I don't have to stir it if I don't want to. And then I splash a little bit of milk on it. Not enough milk to completely make the coffee like white or tan. Just a splash, just to give it that light beige color. And then my coffee is exactly how I like it. And that's my ritual, and nobody better fight me about it, because that's how I like to have my coffee. Nothing can ever change me on how I like to have my coffee. I mean, I can always trust, you know, like, I can walk into a Starbucks or whatever, or, like, a coffee shop, and I'm always okay with whatever they want to do. That's fine. I don't care. Like, they can make their coffee however they want to make it. Every barista makes a coffee differently. I always like to think that how any one particular coffee tastes is unique to each individual barista that makes my coffee for me. And it's like, you know, like you have a barista make your coffee and you taste it and you're like, oh, this is like how this barista makes it. It tastes like this. And then like I can have a completely different barista and order the same coffee and I'll drink it and I'll be like, oh, this is clearly different from the previous barista because they're clearly doing it a different way. And I can enjoy this because it's an individual way that each individual person makes it. That's fine. But when I make my coffee, I have to do it in a very specific way, and nobody can tell me how I like to make my coffee. So, there you go. Alright, let's see. Ished says, black coffee, baker's chocolate, and a lemon. Sounds good to me. I'd like a twist of lemon! Can I have a twist of lemon? Cobalt says, bro, I don't know about you, but I love hazelnut creamer. Hazelnut creamer's really good with coffee. It definitely is. I've definitely had that before. Cindy says, show me that tip. Very hot. That's very hot. Cobalt says, I got pizza from the Hut, and the cheese on the pizza looked like rotten flesh on a zombie. Like patches of the cheese had tomato sauce coming through the cheese. Ew. Ew, that sounds terrible. No! No, why? Why? Oh, yeah, I don't like Pizza Hut anymore. It's just, I don't like the Pizza Hut where I live. It's terrible. Like, they're so not cool. Like, they ruined my pizza. I'll never forgive them. I always like to think that they single-handedly ruined my birthday with their awful pizza. I'll never forgive them for that. Matt says, got a Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee as we speak, sitting at the table outside on Dunkin's Wi-Fi. I have not had Dunkin' Donuts coffee since I was in Boston. Every so often I go and visit my sister and my brother-in-law up in Boston. And I'll go stay with them for like a few weeks. The longest I ever stayed in Boston was about like 3 months, and I was having Dunkin' every once in a while. Most of the time, me and my sister would brew our own coffee, but every once in a while, my sister would be like, hey, hey, Mike, I know you have to go out and go do something. Here's some money. Go and buy us some Dunkin' coffee and some Dunkin' Donuts. Bring it back here. And, like, I would do that, and me and my sis would just munch on donuts and drink Dunkin' coffee while we would work in her place at that time, so. But that's pretty much the only time I have Dunkin'. Dunkin's, this is the thing, Maz, because you're in Florida, right? So you're on the East Coast. Dunkin', like, owns the East Coast when it comes to, like, coffee shops and stuff like that. But over here where I am, on the West Coast, pretty much, Dunkin' is not really a thing. So, like, we have, like, if I can go out to the store and buy Dunkin' Donuts coffee beans, like, they sell in bags Dunkin' Donuts coffee beans. But we don't have Dunkin' Donuts shops here. They don't exist on the West Coast. That's not a thing. It's like, we have Starbucks as far as the eye can see. Like, every corner has, like, a frickin' Starbucks, but Dunkin' Donuts doesn't exist on the West Coast, pretty much. I mean, I'm sure that, like, if you went to some of the more highly populated areas, maybe you'll find one or two, but on the West Coast, there's not really many Dunkin' Donuts at all. DLG says, dude, ice cream soup is not sad, at least not to me. I mean, it's fine, but, like, the thing is that, like, I'd rather enjoy the ice cream And, like, I have a thing about overly sugary liquids. I don't like liquids that are really sugary, which is why I don't drink sodas and, like, juice and stuff like that. It when I drink really sugary liquids, like, I can drink chocolate in my coffee, but the reason why I can drink chocolate in my coffee is because I'm not weighing it down with tons of chocolate. Like, I put a very small layer of chocolate sauce in my cup just to kind of get the flavor of the chocolate, but not to be like a chocolatey, sugary drink. So the thing is I don't drink sugary drinks. They make me nauseated. So, like, for example, like, I don't remember the last time I had an actual soda pop. And I don't like drinking soda pop because it nauseates me. It's the sugar. The large amount of sugar that I would consume from drinking a single can of pop makes me feel sick. Because it's just so much sugar so quickly that my body feels like it doesn't know how to handle it. And then I'm just uncomfortable and sick and woozy and not good. So, like, I like sugar for, like, not even sugar-free sodas. I like club soda with, like, flavoring in it. So, like, LaCroix and stuff like that. Like, I like sodas that don't have sugar in them, or, you know, fake sugar or anything like that. Anything that would make a soda sweet, I would avoid. So sugary drinks are not my thing. I really can't do that. And that's kind of why, like, I'm not a fan of, like, drinking the melted ice cream after I eat a scoop of ice cream. Because, like, when I'm eating a scoop of ice cream, it's like, you know, a cold treat that I can enjoy at my own pace. And it's like, you know, like munching on something. But, like, I munch on sweets and I can enjoy that. But, like, drinking a sugary liquid that's like a syrup makes me ill. Like, my body doesn't like it. It's like, no sugary drinks or liquids or syrups. Don't do it. Like, don't drink that. So that's why I'm not a fan of, you know, drinking ice cream soup or whatever, you know? And I also have to usually, it's the same with, like, even if I were to, like, consume, like, a bunch of ice cream, like, I can't eat too much ice cream either, because that would make me sick in the same way. It's just a little bit different. Like, I can, like, for example, I could eat, like, a full scoop of ice cream, but I can't drink a full can of pop, you know? So, like, the last time, like, usually what happens to me is, like, I'll drink a can of soda, like, I'll crack open a can of soda, and I'll drink, like, a third of it, and then usually I'll ask if somebody wants to finish it for me, or otherwise I'll just throw it away. And that's why I don't like even opening sodas, is because it's like, I don't even want, like, I know that I'll just drink a third of it, and then I'll waste the rest of it. So I don't, like, want to waste it, so therefore I'm just not going to have it, you know? Sugary drinks, that's something I really don't like. Which is funny because when I was younger, I used to drink lots and lots of sodas and things like that, but as I got older, I would say that when I got into, like, my, I want to say, like, my mid-20s, I guess? Like, probably when I was around, like, 23 or 24, that's when I started realizing that sugary drinks make me sick, and I don't like to drink them anymore. So I basically stopped drinking, like, soda pops and stuff like that. Zeus says, I have a Keurig regular coffee pot, campfire coffee pot, and a French press. Nice. Yeah, French press is pretty much the only way I do it. I wouldn't mind having, like, you know, like an espresso machine. Keurigs are pretty cool. Like, I've never turned down a Keurig. Like, my parents had one, and my sister had one, and I genuinely enjoyed drinking Keurig coffee. Even if it is, like, the weird little pods and the coffee's already ground or whatever, it never bothered me. It really didn't. But I think that overall, it's not just the drinking of French press coffee, it's the ritual of making French press coffee. It's kind of like, you know what they say is, like, oh, like, I'm not addicted to the cigarette, I'm addicted to the ritual of having a cigarette. It's like that. Like, not only do I enjoy drinking coffee, but I also enjoy the ritual of making coffee. Like, that's why it's like, I don't want my coffee instantaneously. I want my coffee to sit and steep for 10 minutes. Like, because that's part of the ritual. And if I don't have that ritual of my coffee steeping for 10 minutes, I'm not going to be happy about it. I'm not going to be able to enjoy my coffee the way that I like to enjoy my coffee. So it's not just the process of drinking it, it's also the process of how it's made, you know? I guess in that case, it really is truly an addiction. Cindy says, I know people that used to brew coffee in a pot, then brew it again in more grounds. Yeah, like, in other words, like, using the same grounds for multiple pots. I've tried that before, and I never liked it because it just comes out too weak. And the process of steeping it for 10 minutes usually really concentrates the coffee. So, like, if I were to, like, steep it for 10 minutes and then reuse those grounds, it's going to be much, much, much weaker the second time around because I steeped it for 10 minutes, which means I pretty much got most of everything I needed out of the beans in the first place. Let's see, DLG says, yep, your coffee drinking isn't a vice, it's a gateway to OCD. It's a ritual, man. I cannot drink my coffee without like, that whole process I explained to you, I have to have my coffee like that every single time. Like I said, like, if I go out to a coffee shop, I don't care. I don't care, like, how they make my coffee. Like, I mean, if it's burnt, I'll ask for a new coffee, like, whatever. But, like, the overall process of how any individual person makes my coffee that I'm paying them for, I don't care how they make it. But when I, set the rules and I'm the one making the coffee, I have to follow that ritual, or otherwise it's just not, I'm not going to be happy with it. Cindy says siphon brew coffee is next level. Is that like where you're like brewing it through like a sieve almost? Like where you have like the triangular style like cone sieve and you put the grounds in and then you do like a drip through it? Like that's like a drip style coffee? Not sure if that's what you're talking about, but that's what it sounds like based on reading that sentence. G says, there's a local coffee shop that has a mean cold brew. I like to enjoy it during summertime usually, though. That's cool, man. I always remember one of the best coffees I ever had, like it's like permanently burned into my brain because of how amazing it was there was a cafe in San Francisco called the Blue Bottle Cafe. And they were famous for a what they called the Kyoto drip coffee. And they have this crazy glass like percolating system in the middle of the cafe. So like you walk into the cafe and it's like a box and like they have like seating and everything. And like they also have their bar where you order the coffee. But dead center, middle of the entire building is just this like barred off, like they have it like, they have signs around it that say please do not touch and all that. And it's just this from they have like a table that comes up to like your waist. And then sitting on the table, from the table to the ceiling, is this crazy glass percolator system where they're constantly brewing Kyoto drip coffee. And the process of making one full pitcher of Kyoto drip coffee takes a full 24 hours for them to brew it. And they only serve it to you iced. Like, you can't order it hot. Because after they brew the coffee through its 24-hour drip process, it then goes into a cooler, which they serve the next day. And so they only serve it as a cold coffee. I mean, I'm pretty sure they only serve it cold. I'm pretty sure I remember that. But I remember them, like, pulling this pitcher out of, like, the cooler. And, like, I also remember it was a small fortune. I want to say it was like I bought like a 16-ounce glass of this Kyoto drip coffee for like $5. And I remember drinking that, and I drank it black. Like, they even told you, they were like, listen, like, if this is the first time you've ever had this, we recommend that you don't put any creamer in it. We recommend that you just drink it black. We're not going to like, you can put creamer in it if you really, really need to, but we highly suggest you drink it black and don't put anything in it. So I paid $5 for this 16-ounce cup of cold Kyoto drip coffee. It was like my mouth is watering thinking about it. It was by far one of the most amazing ice cold brew coffees I've ever had in my entire life. Like it was savory, it was like the right level of bitterness, it was fragrant, like it was like it had like a light level of sweetness to like kind of like match the bitterness of it. Like, oh my god, it was so good. And I've only had it one time. Like, I've only had it that one time that I ever went to the Blue Bottle Cafe and ordered it. But I will never forget. Like, I remember everything about going there and having that coffee so vividly just because I can remember the taste of that coffee, because it was by far probably one of the most amazing cold brew coffees I've ever had in my entire life. It's burned into my memory for the rest of my life. Like, it was so good. Never forget it. Scorba Guy says, in my area it is Krispy Kreme. I have not seen a Krispy Kreme in over a decade. There was a period of time where Krispy Kreme, you know, was a big deal when I was living in California. And then they had a huge crash with their... basically, they opened... Like, it wasn't that they were failing as a business. It was that they overexpanded. Like, they basically tried to go the Starbucks route, and they overexpanded past their demand. And they did have a high demand for their donuts and coffee, but they expanded much larger than that demand, you know, demanded for. So they ended up having to shut down a ton of their buildings. So it's been a very long time since I've had Krispy Kreme. Like, I don't remember accurately the last time I had a Krispy Kreme donut and a Krispy Kreme coffee. But it was, I mean, I don't remember their coffee being that amazing, but I do remember their fresh, piping hot donuts were quite impressive. I do remember that their donuts were pretty amazing. Let's see here. So no Sundays for Hobbs? I mean, I've had Sundays before. I don't remember the last time I've had a Sunday. Usually when I really, like, sometimes I'll buy, like, a pint of ice cream if I'm, like, really craving it, I guess. But usually, like, what I'll do is every once in a while, if I'm having, like, a really good day, I did this, like, last month. I went into town, because what I do is whenever I do something really good, or really successful, or really well, I'll go and, like, treat myself as, like, a reward. So, like, last month, I went in for an interview for a job which is probably the job that I might be starting next week. I went in for an interview, for this job that I might be starting soon, and the interview went really good. And I was really in a good mood, so what I did was I went out and I treated myself to a nice lunch. And then I went over and I was like, you know what? After that nice lunch, I'm going to go and treat myself to a nice ice cream as well. So I went to that really fancy ice cream shop that I was telling you guys about, where they serve affogatos. And I bought myself a affogato there. So, like I said, usually when I'm in a really good mood or I'm treating myself and I want ice cream, I'll go to that really fancy ice cream shop in town and I'll order myself an affogato. So that's my go-to kind of thing. Let's see here. Zeus says, I am mildly obsessed with coffee. Yeah, I know the feeling. I am too. If you guys... This has been the coffee stream, and I don't even have any coffee to drink in front of me, so... Oh well. I might make some coffee once the stream is over. Who knows? Especially after all this talk. And it's funny because I started this stream thinking I was going to be talking about video editing, which I talked about a little bit, but this has been a coffee stream, you guys. Radwood says, Hobbs wants foreplay with his coffee. Yes. Yes. I want to believe that out there somewhere there is you know, like when they have like like people will make anime characters for like random things. So like, you know, like, oh, this is like, I don't know, I can't think of a good example, but like, you know, where people will take like abstract concepts and then turn them into like cute anime girls. Like, do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like, have you guys seen that? Like, so what my thought process is like, when Ratherwood says Hobbs wants foreplay with his coffee, I just imagine like, oh, little coffee-chan, little coffee-chan, like a cute anime girl that represents like coffee or something like that. That would be so cool. There's probably one out there. I'll probably have to go and look it up. See if there's an adorable coffee-chan out there. Let's see here. Cindy says, no, Habbo, they would take the brewed coffee, pour it back into the pot, and brew it again in new grounds? Interesting. That's really weird. I'd be worried that if you tried to boil the coffee again, you'd burn it. You know, like, because I generally think that you can't really, like, you would have to get a special, so like I have a water kettle, you know, that I use for my coffee, and that kettle's only for water. I would never put coffee in the kettle to heat it up. I would only use the kettle I have over there for only putting water in. So like I would be worried that like if I were to put coffee in a kettle to like heat it up again to like brew over a second time over like new coffee grounds, I would first of all be worried that I would ruin the kettle, like I'd stain the kettle forever. And then on top of that, I'd also be worried that I would burn the coffee while heating it up again, like boiling it again to like pour it over a new set of grounds. Like, because I hate burned coffee. I traumatized myself because one time, a long time ago, I went to a Starbucks, I ordered a coffee, and they burnt the shit out of this coffee that I ordered. But at that time, I'm like a person who like, you know, when somebody makes like a small mistake with my coffee, I don't like bothering people about it. You know, like I don't like doing that. Because it's like, usually it's like, oh, like, I was making you a mocha, and I accidentally put, like, caramel sauce in it, or there's not the right amount of chocolate in it, or I told you it was gonna be this kind of coffee, but I use this kind of coffee instead. So, like, you know, like, usually when people make mistakes with my coffee, I don't like bothering people. I'm like, no, it's okay, just give me the coffee, I'll enjoy it, I'm okay, like, you did a good job, like, take your money, I'm not mad, like, it's totally fine, like, I'm a really good customer. I'm a very easy to please customer. But there was one time where I went into a Starbucks and I ordered a coffee and they burnt the ever-loving shit out of it. Like, I could smell the coffee was burnt just by smelling it. And, like, the girl who served it to me, who was very nice, she was like, I think I might have burnt your coffee. If it's burnt, just let me know, and I'll remake it. And I was like, it's fine. Just give me the coffee. It's fine. I'll take it. And I took it, and I forced myself to drink it. And drinking, it was like a 16-ounce cup of burnt coffee. And I drank it, and I was sick for the rest of the day. I was literally puking my guts out for the rest of that entire day. And, like, I even remember, like, coming in the next day, like, and I told, like, the girl was working there again, and I was like, hey, like, just want to let you know, the coffee you gave me was, in fact, burnt. I didn't want to give you a bad time about it, but it literally made me physically ill to the point of where I was puking for the rest of the day. And she was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry! Like, and she felt terrible about it. And I was just like, it's okay. Like, it's totally fine. I don't want a refund. Like, it's totally okay. I just wanted to let you know that I did in fact suffer for it, and I will be sure to take up your offer on having the coffee remade next time. And it was so sweet. She felt so bad that she actually, I remember she gave me a gift card for like she gave me a gift card for like $20 after that happened. She was super duper nice and felt really terrible. And I didn't even care. Like, I wasn't trying to get that out of her or anything. It was just, because like I told her, I was like, no, like, you don't have to make me a free coffee. And she's like, no, please take this gift card. And I was like, okay. But ever since then, ever since that traumatic experience, I don't drink burnt coffee anymore. Even if it's even slightly burnt, I send it back. And I try to be as polite about it as I can, because I have had somebody, different Starbucks, different people. I have had people serve me burnt coffee, and I would taste it, and I'd be like, hey, like, I really don't want to give you a bad time, but, like, this coffee's really burnt. Can I please get another? Like, is that okay? And they'll be like, oh, yeah, no, it's fine. Like, it's my bad. Like, I'll take care of it. And they're usually, like, as long as you're really polite about it and really nice, they're totally fine with giving you another coffee. So, but I just don't like making a big stink about those kinds of things. That's just not the kind of person I am. But I do know to not drink burnt coffee anymore. I fell behind, just like I always do. Ratherwood says it takes 2 days to make it. Hobbs, Wonka, and the Tea Drip Factory. Tea Drip Factory. Yeah, they're talking about that Blue Bottle 24-hour drip. Yeah, it's amazing stuff. I'll never forget it. Maz says, my friend Sarah giggling at you, Hobbs. I'm teasing her that she likes you. Told her about your case of butt onions. My butt onions are sexy, Maz. Shut up. You don't even know. You don't even know. How dare you make fun of my butt onions? Maz, I'm so sensitive about butt onions. Why? Well, I'm glad you and your friend are here having a good time. Thanks so much for being here, ladies. Cindy says, by the way, did everyone get pie today? I had my pizza pie earlier. I stuffed my face with pizza pie for Pie Day. I will probably not eat anything else for the rest of the day. I had so much pizza pie today. I'm good. I am good for the rest of the day. I might not eat anything for the rest of the day, honestly. DLG says, I didn't get any pie. I should have had pie today. Yeah, it's Pie Day, man. 314, man. Come on. What are you doing? I actually planned it yesterday. Like, I was like, oh, tomorrow's Pie Day. I got to get myself a pizza pie. Like, I did actually think about getting, like, a full, like, proper, like, dessert pie. But I was like, nah, like, I don't want to eat, like, a dessert pie all day. Like, that sounds terrible. I'm going to order a pizza pie. I'm going to order myself a delicious, scrumptious pizza pie. Cheesy goodness. I had a Hawaiian-style pizza pie today. And I don't care if you think pineapple on pizza is disgusting. Pineapple on pizza is delicious to me. And don't you dare judge me on it because it's so good. So I had a delicious pineapple Hawaiian pizza pie today. And it was very good. And I loved it. Yeah, it's Pie Day, guys. Come on. Get with the program, guys. Pay attention to the date. Numbers. Important business. What are you doing? Cindy says, oh yeah, they replace the coffee maker every few months. Well, I mean, I get that, but like at the same time, like I ain't got money or time for that. Come on, Mike. Come on, Mike. I ain't got time or money for that. I can't be replacing my... I mean, I guess if you're like, you know, like a coffee shop that specializes in it, like what Cindy is implying, then yeah, I guess that's kind of cool and they can totally do whatever they need to do, but I ain't gonna be doing shit like that. Nah, that's too much hassle. Too much money, too much hassle. I'm good. Scorpio Guy says, burned coffee is like burned popcorn. You never forget the taste and smell. Yeah, I've also forced... Oh my god, that even reminds me, Scorpiogeist, I also have a traumatic story about eating burnt popcorn because I'm too nice. I don't have the heart in me. I don't have, like, the ability to, like, tell people when, like, food or drinks are terrible. Like, I can't do it, especially when it's people I care about. I have a story about my stepmother... who is probably watching this on the backlog. I love you, stepmommy. I know you're probably watching this on the backlog because she always likes to contact me every once in a while and let me know that she's still watching my podcast style stuff on the backlog. So, stepmommy, if you're in here, I love you and I don't mean any harm when I tell this story. I love you. So one time my stepmom was learning how to make popcorn on the stove, like just using like kernels and like oil. And she got really good at it over time. Like, she's a pro at making stove-popped popcorn. But one time, she was first learning how to do it. And so she's like, hey, like, I'm trying out this method of, you know, popping popcorn on the stove. Mike, I know you like popcorn. Do you want some popcorn after I make it? I was like, yeah, totally, totally. So she burnt the ever-loving hell out of this popcorn batch that she made. She burnt it to shit. And what happened was she was like, I think I burnt it. And I was like, it's fine. She's like, but I can make more. And I was like, no, it's fine. I'll give it to me. I'll eat it. I'll eat the burnt popcorn. Give me the popcorn. It's fine. Please don't. So I started shoveling this burnt popcorn into my mouth, and it was awful. It was awful. But I couldn't tell her that because I love my stepmommy. So I shoveled this absolutely burnt to shit popcorn into my face. I got so sick. It's just like the coffee story. I got so sick. And it didn't make me vomit or anything, but my stomach was not having it. My stomach, like, nothing gross, like no vomiting, no terrible bathroom stories or anything like that. But my stomach was in pain for the rest of the entire day. Absolute terrible, awful pain. And, like, I didn't have the heart to tell my stepmommy at the time that, like, my stomach was totally destroyed from that burnt popcorn. I did tell her about it later, and she was like, I would have made you a fresh batch if you just told me. I was like, I can't do that to you. I can't. I love you too much. Stepmommy. I can't do that to you. So, yeah, I have a bad habit of taking awful foods from people and not telling them that it's awful until, like, a day after. It's just that I'm so good that someday it'll kill me. Oh, man. All right. Let me go ahead and catch up a little bit more. Cindy says, you ever have a dirty chai latte? Is that like a chai latte with espresso in it? So funny thing is, when I was really young, like in middle school and early high school, I used to drink chai lattes a lot, and that was actually what started my addiction into coffee. Hold on a second. I was messing with my phone and I kind of accidentally did something weird on it. There we go. My original beginning of my addiction into coffee was drinking chai lattes in middle school and early high school. Because at that particular time in my life, I actually didn't really like coffee. But chai lattes were my way of getting into coffee drinking. And then eventually, like, as I kept drinking chai lattes, I was like, oh, I'll start trying coffee, you know? Like, supposedly a chai latte is just a weaker flavored coffee, kinda, right? So I'll try that. And then I did. And then after doing that for a while, I couldn't go back to having chai lattes. So I don't really drink chai lattes anymore, because they're not the right kind of, like, flavor for me. Because now I'm just kind of like, well, why would I drink a chai latte when I can just have a coffee? You know, like, so I don't really drink chai lattes anymore. But I used to. I definitely used to. But I assume that a dirty chai latte is, like, maybe a chai latte with, like, espresso in it. That'd be kind of good. Let's see here. Maz says, I'm having General Tso's chicken stir-fry night. That sounds really good. I like General Tso's chicken. It's delicious. Chinese food sounds pretty well, but I'm so full of pizza pie. I can't think about having General Tso's chicken. No way. Just finished ribs. Ooh, that sounds yummy too. You guys are talking about food. Delicious. Is it the time where we all get to salivate over who's having what for dinner now? Is that the kind of people we've become in this stream? We have now officially devolved into, I'm having this for dinner. Well, I'm having this for dinner. And then we're just like, it sounds so good. Oh, man, too good. I remember getting bean grits a bunch of times when I used to drink coffee. Oh, yeah, when it's, like, not filtered properly. But that's what I like about having, like, a really good French press, is I pretty much never get, like, coffee grounds in my coffee ever. It's pretty rare if that ever does happen. Speaking of, like, coffee beans and, like, coffee grounds, have you guys ever had, like, chocolate-covered coffee beans where they just take a straight-up, like, they take like a straight up espresso bean and then they cover it in like a chocolate shell and you just eat that and you eat the coffee bean whole. Pretty good. Like, I don't like coffee beans in my, I don't like coffee grounds in my coffee, but I do love me a good chocolate covered coffee bean every once in a while. It's pretty delicious. Mass says we both lost our shit at that, I assume, when I was yelling about butt onions or something, and how deeply sensitive I am about butt onions, okay? Don't judge me on my butt onions. Cindy says, so finally after 15 years of having an espresso maker, I got a temperature reader for streaming milk? You gonna have milk streams? Come to Cinder Shadow's channel where he will now be streaming milk. You too can go on to Cinder Shadow's channel for all of your streaming milk personal reasons and needs. You too can watch him stream glasses of milk just sitting there, chilling. Just being milk. Milk streams. Okay. Pineapple on pizza is great. I love Hawaiian pizza. Good for you, Maz. I'm proud of you. Like, pineapple Hawaiian pizza is so good, and I don't care what anybody says about it. I love it. I love a good, Hawaiian pizza with, like, ham and pineapple. I also put hot sauce on my pizza. So, like, I have, like, a bottle of sriracha. Today, when I was eating my Hawaiian pizza, I was covering it in sriracha. It was so delicious. It's, like, sweet and then kind of spicy and delicious and yummy. So good. I love it. Let's see here. Pig and fruit, Canadian bacon, pineapple, and green olives. Interesting. That kind of sounds like something I'd be willing to try, DLG, with green olives on it. I'd be down to try it. I can actually kind of imagine those flavors tasting pretty good. Matt says, I'm the opposite, Hobbs. I always, very blunt if it is awful tasting, regardless of who it is, too. Yeah, I can't really do that. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes, like, I'll give people a bad time if I'm, like, being silly and joking about it. But I don't, like, ever want to, like, yell at people about that kind of stuff. Especially when it's, like, because, like, as a person who's worked in a restaurant and, like, in the service business, I don't really like it when, like, customers are just giving me a terrible, awful time, Like, I definitely want to, like, help them, and get their order right. But, like, I also don't want to be screamed at, So, like, I have a really hard time with, like, I have a hard time with, like, yelling at people that work in the food business and the service industry. Because it's, like, I feel like that, like, every person... I feel like that people should work in a service industry or, like, a food business just to kind of, like, have the experience of interacting with customers. Because I feel like that teaches people how to interact with other people in those kinds of businesses, So, because I know what that's like, I always kind of, like, put myself in those people's shoes a lot, where it's like, I don't want to treat this guy like shit, because he's, like, I mean, it's very rare when somebody's just being an asshole, to, like, the customer. That doesn't happen very often. It does happen, but it's not a very common thing. So, like, I usually like to imagine that they're trying the best that they can, and they genuinely want to provide you a good service, or provide you with the right order, or the right food, or whatever. So, like, they're just trying their best most of the time, and, like, I don't want to make them feel like shit for doing the best that they can at their job, So, like, I usually try to, like, be careful about it, or I try to be really polite or really nice, So, like, I will admit that, like, taking burnt coffee's not a good choice, But I don't really do that anymore, so... But I try to, like, when somebody messes something up, I try to be just, like, really nice about it and really careful with how I talk with them, because I don't want to yell at somebody because I don't want people to yell at me, Like, I don't want to be a dickbag to somebody. They're just trying to do their job, Let's see. Cindy says, yeah, dirty chai is a shot of espresso in it, but when you order it from a person, half the time they don't know what it is. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, at that point, I would just say, like, instead of, like, calling it a dirty chai, I'd just be like, hey, can I get, like, a chai tea latte, but can you throw a shot of espresso in there? And then they just know. Like, if it's a really complicated order, then like maybe having it shortened down to like a single name might be helpful. But if it's just a chai latte with a shot of espresso in it, I'd just be like, hey, can I get a chai latte with a shot of espresso in it? They'd be like, yeah, sure. I'll charge you for the extra shot and that's it. And it's like, cool, we're done here. You know, like, there's no reason to have to make a big deal out of it. Like, ugh, you don't know what a dirty chai is? Ugh, pleb. Like, come on, man. Just tell them that you want a chai latte with a shot of espresso. DLG says, first I get told that I needed to have a pie today, then everybody's talking about all these wonderful dinners, and all I have are these lousy chicken wins. Chicken wins? You mean chicken wings? Chicken wins! It's the wind of chicken! Windy chickens! I'm going to go cry in the corner. Oh, DLG, it's okay. Just go and get yourself like a little slice of pizza somewhere, or maybe a slice of pie. Get yourself some pie! Cindy says, yes, chocolate-covered beans needs to be dark chocolate. Yes, very delicious. The stronger, the better. Hey, what's up, Stay and Play? How you doing, girlfriend? Glad to have you in here. I hope everything worked out for you on the Discord. If not, let me know and I will help you out, okay? Let's see here. Zeus says we have rhubarb pie from our own garden. Ooh, fresh rhubarb pie. I used to love just like chewing on rhubarb stalks because I'm weird. Just like chewing on, it's like eating like sour celery sticks, you know? I always thought it was really tasty to just like, but then again also like my parents told me that when I was a baby I used to like chew and suck on lemons and limes because I like the sour flavor of lemons and limes. I'm a weird dude. I'm a weird dude. I like weird things. Maz says streaming milk sounds like a porno. It kind of does, actually, now that I think about it. Ugh. Tonight's hot, tasty flick. Streaming milk. Streaming Milk 3, Revenge of the Milk. I don't know. No, I don't watch a lot of weird porn with weird porn names, so I wouldn't know a proper porn title. Oh, man. Cindy says, hey, DLG, you can pie after the wings. It is something to be happy about. Well, there you go. There's always room for pie, DLG. What are you doing? There's always room for pie. Let's see. Cindy says, God damn it, I guess my next stream will be nothing but milk. Do it. Do a milk stream, bro. Just like turn on your stream and do like your normal introduction and then move the camera down in front of like a glass of milk and just let that glass of milk just like sit there for like 30 minutes. Let's see. Maz says, treat them good. They can always spit in your food. Well, I mean, that's just a little extra flavor, Maz, right? And I mean, if it's a lady who does it, hey, at least they're not charging me extra. Stay and Play is whispering to Cindy, just play a game with or about cows and stream it. It would be a milk stream. There you go. Just like, no, like, have like, even better, like, you know, where it's like, let's switch over to the milk camera. And then like you would be playing a game like that, and then like have like a camera off to the side that you could switch to that's just like got a glass of milk in front of it, and it says on the top line, like, milk cam. And like every once in a while, it's like, we'll be right back over to the milk cam. And then just swap over to the camera that's just like a picture of like milk sitting there. We got great ideas for you, Cindy, and you're worried about running out of content. We got great content for you right here. Do a milk stream, bro. There's your content, man. No more complaints. I don't want to hear any more complaints about you not coming up with new content. Milk stream. There's your content, broseph. Scorpageist has got to go get some pizza on a pineapple. Interesting choice. I will see you later, Scorpageist. Have a great night. Pineapple goes well with habaneros. It does. It does indeed. It goes great with me, big boy. Yeah. You have a great night, Scorpageist. I'll see you later, Home Slice. Let's see here. Cindy says, nah, always order it as a dirty chai. The look you get is worth it. Oh, I get it. Haha, it's a sex joke. Thanks, Cindy. Hey, girl. Hey, you hot little barista. You want to step over to this side of the counter and give me a dirty chai? What's up, girl? How you doing? How you doing? Why don't you come on over here? Give me that dirty chai I hear you guys are famous for, eh? 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 Oh my goodness. Stay Place says, actually forgot Habbo. It was late, dude. Oh, it's all good. I was up late, like, you were like, sorry for chatting with me. It was fine. I was up late last night watching anime. I started watching a new anime, you guys. It's crazy! I was actually kind of hoping of talking about it, maybe, but, we'll definitely have to see. I mean, I got some time, I guess. I got a little bit of time, but, let me just kind of finish up on the comments. I'll see if I have some time to talk about this anime that I'm watching. It's so interesting that when I finish it, I might do a video about it. Like, I already have some ideas for a video talking about this anime that I started watching. So, you guys might be... I'm not a promise, but it has the potential to be a video. I'll talk about it in just a minute. Too late for me to get any pie? Well, go get a pizza, bruh! It's never too late to get a pizza. Like, call up Domino's or something. Like, they'll send you a pie. It's wicked to be weird, says Stay and Play. Very nice. Revenge of the Stutter Utter. Oh my god. There is your Milkstream porno name right there. Stutter Utter. I love it. That's hot. That's hot. Oh, Maz loves the idea of a Milkstream. Bradwood's like, I'd watch Milk. Hell yeah, you would. Cindy says, stream Milk, just camera on a glass of milk for 10 hours. Change it out every once in a while. Stir strawberry or chocolate into it too. Damn. That's some hot milk action right there, man. Yeah. Cindy's all about the milk stream now. Okay. So before I forget, and before I run out of time, let me tell you guys about this anime I started watching. So I started watching an anime called hold on. It's, I just don't remember the name of the girl. Okay, so I started watching a anime called The Saga of Tanya the Evil. And I wasn't sure, like, how good it was gonna be. It is so good. Like, it is, like, I'm surprised by it. I'm surprised. I'm actually enjoying the hell out of it. I'm about a little bit more than halfway through this. It's called Saga of Tanya the Evil. And it is this anime about... So it's technically an isekai anime. I told you guys, I'm on the great 2021 isekai quest. So it's an isekai anime in the sense of it's a story about a guy who dies and he's reincarnated. Like it's about like a 30-year-old man who gets reincarnated into the body of a baby girl. But it's not weird. Like, they're not weird about it. Like, you know, like, oh, it's so weird that a 30-year-old man gets reincarnated into a little girl. They don't do that at all. There's nothing weird or sexual or strange about it in the slightest. So far, anyways. So, the core of what this is about is it's a story about this 30-year-old man who's basically a bureaucrat. He's a bureaucrat who works for a large corporation, and he is basically a cold, calculating kind of person. And in the sense that he's all about, like, making everything, his job is to make the business that he works for as efficient and, you know, prosperous as possible. So, like, all he cares about is, you know, calculating everything as efficiently as possible, and he doesn't care about how people cope with that. So, like, they explain that one of his main jobs when he's, you know, alive as a 30-year-old bureaucrat, his main job is actually firing people who are not productive in the company. And, like, that being his main job makes him very cold and uncaring towards people in general. And they establish through character building and explanation that he has very little sympathy for other people around him. Like, not to, like, a level of, like, sociopathy. Like, he's not a sociopath. He cares about what he's doing. He cares about being successful. He cares about being efficient. And he cares about getting the job done. But he doesn't care about how other people feel or react to any one thing that he does. And as long as whatever he's doing is successful for, you know, the business or whoever he's working for, then everything is fine. And overall, he's a very, like, self-serving guy. So now what happens is he dies. I'm not going to get into how he dies because I feel like that's kind of a spoiler for the show. He dies, and he is, through the benevolence of a higher being who may or may not be God. Don't want to get too deep into that either, because that's also an important plot point. Some higher being chooses to reincarnate him into the body of a baby girl on a completely different planet that is... There's magic there, but it's like a 19th century... like, it's hard to describe. This planet is like, imagine our world in the 19th century, but, like, with magic. You know? So, like, literally, like, imagine America in the 19th century, which was, like, you know, a prosperous, booming business culture. But, like, imagine that as a world, but, like, there's also magic in it. So, he's born into this world, reincarnated as a baby girl, and by the time that he is the age of, like, 9, I think that's where the main point of the story begins. By the time he's a 9-year-old girl, he basically, first of all, finds out that he has very powerful abilities with controlling magic. And they kind of explain it relatively well so that it's not completely ludicrous. But he realizes that he's very good at controlling magic. And he also has the intelligence of a 30-year-old bureaucrat. So he's still got his level of intelligence as a 30-year-old man. And he's 9 years old, and he's got a good control over magical power. So he ends up finding out that when you are a person, especially a young child, who's gifted with magic and you're very good at it, the military comes knocking at your door, and they will recruit you, and you can basically become, like, a military person, which is, like, kind of an easy way into, you know, building a lifestyle for yourself. So he decides, I'm going to join the military because it's my best option to use my intelligence as a bureaucrat to climb the rankings and make myself comfortable and then retire early so that I can live a life of comfort rather than, you know, being a military person all my life. So that's kind of like the basic premise of what's going on. I left out important details simply because I don't want to completely spoil it, but that's the basic idea. 30-year-old bureaucrat, doesn't really have much sympathy for people, dies and reincarnates into a girl, and then joins the military at the age of 9 as this girl. So he overall keeps his level of intelligence as a 30-year-old, but he also still has his lack of sympathy for people. He doesn't really sympathize with people, and he's still very cold and calculating. So what this overall ends up turning into is it's a story about a 9-year-old girl who doesn't care about other people and joins the military and is also in the process of being a military person, doesn't have the same level of care for human life. Do you understand what I'm kind of getting at here? Like, so you have this girl who will establish it very well in the first episode. You have this girl who's very obsessed with climbing the military corporate ladder as fast as possible, and also throwing anybody under the bus who gets in her way in the process of doing so. She's cold-hearted, she's calculated, she's murderous, and as the show goes on, you get to watch her slowly descend into insanity. Guys, it's so good. It's so good. It is such a good show. So far anyways. I only a little bit more than halfway through it. It is intense, and like as the show progresses, you can clearly see that the main character is slowly losing her grip on reality. Like it's pretty awesome. Like so it's called just to repeat because I know somebody said, I think it was Maz. So the show is called The Saga of Tanya the Evil. So I'll type it in the chat log real quick so you guys can see it properly. But yeah, it's called The Saga of Tanya the Evil. And I get the basic idea that it's all about, like, it's all about this girl who's, like I said, a 30-year-old, the brain of a 30-year-old cold-hearted bureaucrat. Saga of Tanya the Evil. There you go. So, and the whole thing is just like, it's, the real fascination behind it is, like, the guy, like, he's not, like, the main character, he's not, like, a sociopath, but it's like he's trying to survive, basically, and he's dealing with a lot of, like, there's a lot of things that are going on that I can't spoil for you to explain, like, why he's doing what he does in the way that he does it. And it's like one of the things, like, I actually posted a tweet today on Twitter saying that Tanya from the Saga of Tanya the Evil gives Light Yagami from Death Note a run for his money. And, like, that's, like, one of the most interesting things is the comparison between Tanya the Evil and, like, Light Yagami, which is, like, Light Yagami in Death Note was this character who overall believed that he was doing the right thing. And being obsessed with him trying to do what he believed was the right thing to do was becoming his slow descent into complete insanity. And, like, that's what I feel like is going on with this story of the Saga of Tanya the Evil, where what you have is, like, yes, he's not very sympathetic towards people. Yes, he's very cold-hearted. But he's not, like, he's not a total and utter scumbag. Like, the overall thing is that he's doing a job. And, like, yes, he's selfish. Yes, he's, like, trying to, you know, come out on top and be the best that he can be. But it's not like he's being evil for the sake of being evil. There is overall an ultimate goal to, like, what he's trying to do. So, like, in that sense, this character, Tanya the Evil, is similar to Light Yagami, where it's like, you can get on his side sometimes. Like, you're like, I can understand why you're doing what you're doing. Like, I get, overall, you're, like, because Tanya's a scheming character. There's a reason why they call her Tanya the Evil. She's evil. Like, she's terrible. But at the same time, like, she's like the character like Light Yagami. Like, you can't help but, like, root for her, you know? And it makes her a really interesting character. And, like, watching the process of what she's doing, what she's going through, and her overall sense of, like, well-being and her justification for doing things, like, it makes it really interesting as you watch her slowly, just like Light Yagami, watching her slowly and completely descend into madness. It's fascinating. It's really good. Like, it's very interesting. So, I highly recommend it. I've been enjoying it. I'll probably finish watching the series tonight. And then, depending on how the end of the series impacts me, I may or may not do a video about it, talking a little bit more deeply about it. So, because it's good. I highly recommend it, especially if you're into, like, really dark stuff. Like, for example, like Maz, you'd probably like it. Like, you would probably like it. She's a psycho, but she's a lovable psycho. Like, you, like, learn to really enjoy the whole descent into madness that she's going through. So, Maz, you would probably like it. Let me catch up on the chat, and then I gotta wrap this up. Let's see here. Stainplay says, could replace your face cam with a milk cam and just play arena or something. That'd be pretty funny. Stainplay says, I'm curious, send me a PM with a link maybe? Sure, I mean, if you guys want, I use a special... There's a couple of websites that I stream anime off of, so if you guys are curious about that, I will... I'm not going to do it here on YouTube in case there's some weirdness about that, but I will, in the Discord, post some links to the websites I use for streaming anime. I'll go ahead and put, like, Tanya the Evil in there as well, so you guys can watch that if you're curious. It's really good. Like, I've been really impressed by it, to be honest. Because I feel like one of the things that has to be said is there needs to be more stories about main characters being villains. I feel like there's not enough of them. And, like, when I say that, I don't mean, like, because, like, you have, like, Overlord, you know, which is, like, oh, the Overlord was a villain. And then you have, like, the Demon Lord of Demon King Academy or something. And they're like, oh, well, he's the reincarnation of the devil. Like, he's evil. And then you have, like, the devil is a part-timer. Where, like, oh, he's the devil. Like, these are evil characters. And it's like, it's not the same. Because, like, with Overlord and the Misfit at Demon King Academy and the devil is a part-timer, like, they take these so-called villainous characters and turn them into good people. Or, like, with Overlord, like, people may see him as a villain, but he's overall doing things in a harsh fashion for the purpose of bettering mankind, you know? So, like, that's that kind of thing, but, like, what Death Note and, like, Tanya the Evil are all about is they're psychopaths. They're villains. Like, I guess you could argue that Light Yagami's trying to make society better, and you could even say that in, like, based on what's going on in the storyline of Tanya the Evil, she's also in her own way bettering the mankind in the place that she lives. So she's technically, you know, she's only evil to her enemies. She's not evil to the people that she's fighting for, right? So, like, but at the core, Light Yagami is a psychotic person. Tanya the Evil is a psychotic person. Like, they're bad people doing bad things, and they're descending into madness when you watch them. There should be more anime like that, is what I'm saying. That's what I want to see. I want to see more animes with clearly dangerous, like, evil characters that are clearly dangerous people. You know what I mean? Like, not, like I said, like, Light Yagami and Tanya. Like, you know, yeah, they're evil, but, you know, they always say the best villains, like, one of the best things I've ever heard said about villains when telling a good story is the best villains always believe that they're doing the right thing. And that's, like, the case with these characters, and that's what makes them such great villains, is because they genuinely believe they're doing the right thing, even though what they're doing is clearly wrong and clearly evil. So, I would actually love to see more animes that, you know, do that, follow that route, where the main character is evil, but you can understand on a particular level why they're doing the terrible, awful things that they're doing, you know? Stayplay says that's almost the premise of Chucky meets Happy Death Day. I've never seen any Chucky movies. I'll be straight up with you guys. Cindy has to go. All right, have a great night, Cindy. I gotta go in just a moment as well. I gotta wrap this up. Sounds like Ranma Half. That is a funny anime. I actually read a little bit of the mangas of Ranma Half. I never finished it though. Yeah. Saga of Tanya the Evil is what I wrote. People are talking about Death Note a little bit. Hey, Alpha Gamers, you're just in time for the end of the stream. Thank you for being here, buddy. I appreciate ya. Light Yagami is the perfect example of a hero who lived long enough to become a villain. Yeah, but I mean, like, he was a villain from like the first episode, you know? Like, Light Yagami was bad from the beginning, like, but he's like I said, it's that thing, like, there's a name for it. We call it the, it's the Ozymandias, concept. Like, that Light Yagami and Tanya the Evil are, you know, the Ozymandias villain. And the Ozymandias villain, for anybody who doesn't know, go read Watchmen, the graphic novel Watchmen. Ozymandias was a villain in Watchmen where he basically, right off the bat, the moment I say Ozymandias is a villain, I'm automatically spoiling things. I feel bad because just by saying that, I've spoiled the book. It's basically the idea of the concept of the Ozymandias villain is the idea that a villain is created by doing something despicably awful for the purpose of the greater good. So, like, the idea of killing 1,000 people to save 1,000,000. You know what I mean? That's the Ozymandias villain. That's, like, the idea of what that is. It's the concept of, like, oh, well, if I want to save 1,000,000 people, I have to kill 1,000. You know, that idea. And that's what those characters are like. Let's see here. Hey, Wild Goat! Goodness gracious, I haven't seen you in forever, dude! You're also just in time for the end of the stream. I do have to wrap this up. I'm going to try and read these as fast as possible, but I'm glad you're in here, Wild Goat. Thank you for being here. Death Note was purely about the villain becoming the villain. Yeah, it's about his slow descent into madness. That's what it's all about. Elvergamer says, good to hear for Maz. Wild Goat in the chat. Absolutely. Almost all good villains have a PhD also. It's true! Hey, Magic Historian! Thank you for coming in at the end here, buddy. Glad to have you in here, Home Slice. Yeah, I was just talking about some anime. I was having a really interesting conversation with Carly last night about anime on Twitter, so you're gonna have some good animes coming at you, Mr. Historian. Carly's got some good ones planned out for you, from what I've heard. DLG says, have a great evening, everybody. Have a wonderful night. Same place says, Light was just arrogant and self-serving. He wasn't evil until he dabbled in godly powers. Yeah, that's true, but I mean, like, that's the idea, is like, you know, he was just a normal kid before he started realizing that he could kill people by writing a name down in a book, you know? Matt says, Voldemort, that is Harry Potter. There is no such thing as good or evil, just people who possess power and people who are afraid to seek it. That's a pretty good line. I totally forgot that comes from Harry Potter. That's a good one, Maz. I had Maz's name to the Death Note. I just read that. That's so good. Man, I haven't seen Death Note in a long time. It's been a while. Last time I was watching it, I was kind of surprised that I wasn't enjoying it as much as I did before, but yeah. Stay in Place says, the Ozymandias is also a poem from the 1600s to 1700s. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Was it similar? Was it the same way? I don't know if that's the... I don't know, because I've never read that poem, so I wouldn't know. But if it was based on the same concept, then that would also be pretty interesting. Whenever I think of the idea of Ozymandias, I always think of Watchmen. Because Ozymandias was one of the most important characters in that story. Don't quote me, because I just learned this new info. Okay, that's fine. Alright, guys, well, I do have to wrap this up. I had a great time hanging out with you guys. This was fun. I always love doing these little chit-chat streams where I kind of hang out with you guys and talk about whatever. We mostly talked about coffee, but that's okay. Sometimes we just want to hang out and talk about coffee, and that's okay. So I'm going to say all the normal things I always say, guys, which is, guys, if you haven't already, go ahead and like. Go ahead and comment if you're watching it in the backlog. Go ahead and subscribe if you happen to not be subscribed already. I would greatly appreciate it. Hit that notification bell so you guys can always know when I'm going to go live or do videos or what have you. It's greatly appreciated and always helps me out with the algorithm, so thank you so much if you guys go ahead and do those things. Check in the description below for all of my wonderful links. I have a PayPal, I have a Streamlabs. All donations sent to me are greatly appreciated and go towards helping the channel. And I also have a wonderful Patreon account, which I'm also sending special content to. I am doing early releases on my Patreon account, as well as uncensored clips of the Honey Pop series, which I'm currently doing. So if you want to see the early release uncensored clips of Honey Pop 2, that's where you want to be. So go ahead and join the Patreon if you should so choose to do, which I greatly appreciate. And also, I'm going to give a wonderful shout out to all of my amazing Patreon members, which are ya boy Lettuce, the amazing Bo Falcon, Fajouk Enterprises, James P., Rebecca Smith, as well as Mr. Ashed. So thank you, Patreon members, so much. It's your wonderful donations that allow me to keep doing what I'm doing and also spend towards the channel. So thank you so much for all you do for me. And other than that, guys, I'm going to say the very last thing that I know you guys all want to hear because it always holds true and you should always, always know that it's true, which is follow your dreams, guys, all right? I'll see y'all later. Have a great night. I'll see you later. Love you guys. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate all your support. Keep enjoying my videos. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye. Goodbye.